Chapter 14, One Moment of Sin. One Moment of Sin. There was once a man who was delivered from drugs through a personal relationship with Jesus. While serving the Lord, he got married with a very lovely lady, got a high-paying job. Everything seemed wonderful, and his life could not seem better, till he opened the door for one moment of sin. He figured out what harm would one needle inject in my vein would do. The only problem was he did not know that was a used needle, used by someone who had AIDS. The next day, everything seemed normal. He went to work as usual, but did not expect a drug examination which was done on his job that day. He failed the blood test and was fired. Disappointed at just what happened, he went home, and his wife, wanting to console him at that time, romance him, and they went to bed. As he went in search of a job, he swore to himself he would never use drugs again. Around that time, his wife gave him the news that she was pregnant. He found a job weeks later, which he had to take a blood test, which came out he was HIV positive. Not knowing how to face his wife that he gave her HIV, and the baby which she carried was most likely infected, he ran away from his house and became a homeless addict which couldn't forgive himself for all the evil that one moment of sin caused. Months started to pass, and he saw a man that he knew who was his pastor. Thinking he was not going to recognize him, he passed by him, but the pastor did recognize him, and he called him by his name. He pretended he was someone else, but the pastor said, "I know you, Frank," and he turned around thinking he was going to tell him the worst. The pastor started by telling him Lisa still loves you, and she wants you home. At hearing this, he told the pastor what he'd done, and the pastor said Lisa knows, and she forgives you. Get back on your feet. We will be on your side as you get help, but I want you to know that there is someone who loves you too. Overjoyed that he was still loved by his wife, he wondered who would love me too. Then pastor answered, Jesus loves you and he wants you back. At that, Frank fell into tears and gave back his life to Christ. Chapter 15, Waiting for Something.